want to get closer, want to express everything you feel. But fear holds you back. The fear of being ignored, of not being enough, of exposing yourself and getting hurt. You hold your phone, open the conversation, read and reread the messages. You write, you delete. Take a deep breath and give up once more. And you? If you knew this, would you do something? Or would you let silence win? The doubt that eats away. Every notification makes your heart race. Could it be a message? Could they have found the courage this time? But nothing comes through. Just the emptiness of a screen with no replies. Why is it so hard? Why does it feel impossible to take a step? Because in your mind, the worst-case scenario keeps playing on repeat. Rejection, humiliation, the possibility of being treated like you're nothing. So it's easier not to try. Easier to pretend you don't feel anything. Easier to convince yourself that silence is an answer. But is it really? Or is that just an excuse to flee from the truth? The weight of silence. Time goes by. Days fly. Contact cools. Not because of a lack of will, but because of the fear of taking a step and falling into the void. What if the response is cold? What if it's just one uninterested word? What if the message isn't even seen? These thoughts trap you, suffocate you. They make you lose the chance before you even try. Because the fear of pain is greater than the courage to take a risk. And meanwhile, on the other side, there's someone waiting, not knowing, not understanding, unable to imagine the battle happening in silence. What if it's not too late? The opportunity is still there. But for how long? Time wears you down, tires you out. You can't wait for things to work themselves out. You can't believe that, without any action, anything will change. You either act now or you watch it all disappear right before your eyes. And you? Will you keep waiting, or will you do something before it's too late? With each passing day, the distance grows. Not because we want it to, but because fear keeps everything at a standstill. Each prolonged silence creates a new gap between two people who could be close. The thought is always the same. Tomorrow I'll send a message. But tomorrow comes, and nothing happens. Doubt returns, anxiety suffocates, insecurity paralyzes. And so, another day slips away. But does this tomorrow really exist? Or is it becoming too late? The truth is that patience has a limit. No matter how much you want to believe that someone will wait forever, that doesn't happen. Time wears down feelings, and what is desired today might just be a memory tomorrow. So what remains? Regret, guilt, or the courage to not let everything slip away? What is being lost right now? It's not just about a message not sent. It's not just a conversation that never happened. It's a story that could be unfolding right now but is being suffocated by fear. What if it worked out? What if the response was positive? What if there was reciprocity? All of this could be happening at this very moment. But it's not, because insecurity speaks louder. On the other side, there's someone who might be waiting, someone who may have opened their phone several times, thinking about sending a hey, but hesitated for the same reason, someone who also feels but doesn't act. What is preventing either of them from breaking this cycle? And what if the fear is wrong? The mind creates negative scenarios all the time. It thinks about rejection, the possibility of pushing someone away, about failure before even trying. But is this really the only possibility? What if the fear is wrong? What if the response isn't silence or indifference at all? What if, in reality, all that's missing is a first step? What stops you from finding out? The truth is there are only two options. Stay still and let time take away what little remains, or take action before it's too late. And you? How much longer will you wait? And what if you knew the truth? What if at this very moment someone on the other side was feeling the same way? What if there was a chance that the message you practice so often was actually expected? What if the absence of a high was being felt with the same intensity? But how can you know without taking action? How can you be certain without trying? The fear of losing can be overwhelming, but the fear of never knowing the truth should be greater. Because doubt, that truly has no end. It eats away at you, it weighs you down. It makes you ask forever, what if? What if you had sent that message that day? What if you had expressed how you feel? What if the outcome had been different? But fate doesn't change on its own. It waits for a decision. The choice is here now. There is no answer without a question. There is no reciprocity without initiative. There is no story without courage. Silence is comfortable, but it can also be cruel. It kills possibilities before they even exist. It makes you give up on something without even trying. And in the end, what is left? Just the regret of having done nothing. Time is not up yet, but it won't wait forever. So what will it be? Will you continue to feed the doubt, or will you take the risk to discover the truth? The moment that defines everything. This moment, right now, can be decisive. It can be the difference between staying stuck in uncertainty or finally knowing the truth. But what if nothing changes? What if the silence continues? If that happens, at least there will be one certainty. At least there won't be that torment of imagining unanswered possibilities anymore. What hurts more, rejection or the regret of never having tried? Because rejection fades, but doubt lingers. With each minute of hesitation, an opportunity slips away. With each message left unsent, a story is being written without your control. The illusion of later. The mind tries to deceive. It says tomorrow will be easier, that later will be the right time. But that moment never arrives, because fear doesn't go away on its own. Insecurity doesn't just vanish without action. With every new delay, the chances shrink. Time wears you down, interest fades, and what could have been simply stops existing. So what's still holding you back? What keeps you in this paralysis? Is it pride? The preconceived certainty of a failure that hasn't even happened yet? The waiting for an action that may never come? Because the truth is simple. Those who feel must act. Those who want must show it. Those who desire an outcome must have the courage to pursue it. What will be left if nothing is done? If things stay this way, what will remain? What will come after all this lost time? After so many deleted messages, after so many silent days, a memory of what could have been, a silent regret for not taking a step, or a decision made now in the present to change the future. The choice has always been here, it's always been within reach. You just need to decide, and will you keep waiting, or will you finally take action? The truth that cannot be ignored. Time doesn't stop, life doesn't wait. What may still be a possibility today could become just a memory tomorrow, with no turning back. How many times have you imagined living this story differently? How many nights have been spent thinking about how it could have been if you'd acted sooner? But imagining doesn't change anything. Fantasizing doesn't make it happen. There's only one way out of this cycle: act. Because the truth is harsh, no one waits forever. The lack of action isn't invisible. It's felt. And when someone feels they are not a priority, they simply stop waiting. And when they stop waiting, there's no going back. Are you willing to take that risk? What's in your hands? Every second of hesitation is 1 second closer to losing what could still be yours. Because while you drown in assumptions and fears, life keeps happening. And opportunities disappear. Destiny doesn't force encounters. Time doesn't fix what was never built. The absence of action doesn't create paths. It all depends on a decision. You either act now or watch everything slip through your fingers. What will you choose? Silence is also an answer. And what if you continue to do nothing? What if you decide it's easier to keep everything as it is, to accept fear and settle for doubt? Know that this is a choice too, and it comes with consequences, because not acting means accepting defeat. It means saying without words that you never cared enough. And when you realize it's too late, blaming time won't help. The fault will lie solely with the choice not to try. So tell me, will you keep running away, or will you finally take action? The decision that can't wait. It's no longer about assumptions. It's not about what if. It's not about waiting for the right moment. The right moment never comes. Fear never disappears on its own. Doubt only grows the longer you postpone. And with every lost second, something is slipping away. Because while you hesitate, someone else might be moving on. While you remain stagnant, someone might be giving up. While you hide in silence, someone might be accepting that a lack of action means a lack of interest. Is that what you want? Can you handle the idea that one day you might look back and realize you lost everything out of fear? Time doesn't give second chances. Opportunities don't wait. Interest doesn't survive neglect. And one day, when you finally muster the courage to do something, it might be too late. You might open the conversation only to find there's no longer space for a hi. You might look at that person and realize the connection has already faded. Then what? What will you do about it? If there's still a chance, why not take it? If there's still a desire, why suffocate it? Because ignoring it now won't prevent the pain. It will only delay it. And when you do realize, it will be a regret too late to fix. What are you waiting for? There is no answer without action. There is no change without attitude. If it really matters, prove it. If you truly feel it, show it. If you don't do this now, you may never get the chance again. So tell me, will you continue to watch everything fall apart without doing anything? Or will you finally do something before it's too late? The moment that defines the future. You can't run away anymore. There are no more excuses. There is no more time to waste. The only thing standing between you and what could happen is your own hesitation, and every second you hesitate is one step closer to losing everything. The worst is already happening. Doubt is consuming you. Uncertainty is corroding you. Fear is controlling every move you make. And you know what's worse? That person might be feeling the same way. They might be waiting. They might be looking at their phone, wondering if they should send that message. They might be asking themselves if it's still worth it to keep trying. But no one waits forever. And when that wait is over, you will realize you had every chance in the world to do things differently, and you didn't. Can you handle carrying that burden? When there's no turning back, time wears you down, silence hurts. What is a possibility today could be a goodbye tomorrow. And there will come a day when you'll realize that the choice is no longer in your hands, that the decision has been made, not by you but by your inaction. So what will you do when you open that conversation and see it no longer makes sense to send anything? What will you feel when you realize that the moment that could have been yours now belongs to someone else? The truth is simple. If you don't move, someone else will move in your place. And when that happens, looking back won't help, because there will be nothing left to reclaim. The last chance. If there is still a possibility, if there is still something to be done, do it now. Because tomorrow may be too late. Because silence can be permanent. Because doubt can turn into certainty, but a certainty that hurts. So tell me, are you going to stay paralyzed, or are you going to take action before time takes everything away? The moment. Everything is lost. There's nothing more cruel than realizing that time has won, that all the opportunities were there and were wasted. That fear was stronger than the desire. And now, what's left? Opening that conversation and seeing it no longer makes sense to say anything. Looking at that person and realizing the connection is gone. Feeling the weight of everything that could have been but never will be. The worst pain isn't rejection. The worst pain is the certainty that you could have done something and didn't. And that pain doesn't disappear. It lingers, it weighs you down, it haunts you. Are you ready to carry that for the rest of your life? The end you chose because, yes, this was a choice. Not acting is also a choice. Silence speaks louder than any word. It shows indifference, lack of courage, fear of facing reality. And reality doesn't forgive. Reality moves on. If that person is no longer waiting, if they've given up, if they've found a path away from you, the blame is yours. Because you had time. Because you had chances. Because you had everything in your hands. And let it slip away. And now? How do you reverse that? How do you recover something that has already been lost? The truth is simple. There's no going back. Time doesn't give second chances. Life doesn't rewrite stories. What wasn't lived becomes just an impossible void to fill. And all this happened because you waited too long. There is no more time now. There's one last question. Is there still something to be saved? Is there still a glimmer of hope to reverse this situation? If there is, this is the last chance. No more delays. No more excuses. No more time for hesitation. If there's still an opportunity, seize it now. If there's still a path, walk it without fear. If there's still a choice to be made, make it before it's too late. Because one thing is certain, the only guarantee you have is that if you continue to stand still, you will lose everything. The last moment to act time is running out. The silence has already spoken enough. The doubt has hurt too much. Now there is only one choice: act or watch everything slip away. If there is still something to be done, do it now. If there's still a chance, don't waste it, because tomorrow may be too late. What you hesitate to do today could be the one thing that could have changed everything. And when you realize that, there may no longer be a way back. So stop waiting, grab your phone, write that message, say what needs to be said before it's too late. Comment here. Have you ever been in a situation like this? What did you do or what did you not do that you regret? Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more content like this. Leave a like if this message resonated with you.